We are on page 172 of your student journal on lesson 6.4, solving radical equations. So the first step is to make sure the radical expression is by itself, which on number 1 it is. So the second step, we're going to raise the expression to the same power as the index. So we will square both sides of the equation. That cancels the radical. And we get 1 minus x equals 49. So we subtract 1 from each side. Divide by negative 1. We get x is negative 48. Any questions on that part? Did I do that correctly? Looks good to me. All right, let's check the answer. So let's come up top here. Check. So again, we're going to take whatever we just got for x and substitute it back in our original equation. So 1 minus negative 48 equals 7. Hi, Miss Trammell. Okay, so the minus and negative becomes add a positive. 1 plus 48 is 49. Square root of 49 is 7, so we end up with 7 on both sides, which is a true statement. So that solution of negative 48 does check. Are we okay with that step? Yes. See, it says right here, check your solution. We got x equals negative 48 when we solved, and so we took negative 48 and we plugged it in right there for this x. You go back to your original equation.
Wasn't it minus?
Yeah, see how it says 1 minus negative 8 right here?
They're both negative. So.
Yeah, so minus and negative becomes positive. Any other questions? Okay, last step. It doesn't tell us to, but let's restrict the domain to.
What does that mean?
That means setting the radicand greater than or equal to 0. I can write that here if you want me to. The radicand needs to be greater than or equal to 0. So the radicand, remember, is the expression that's underneath the radical in your original equation. So that was this 1 minus x again. Am I frozen?
Is it always greater than or equal to 0?
Yes.
Okay.
It has to be 0 or
And what if it's not? Is that
greater.
It's not wrong?
No, you're like setting a rule for the equation. You're setting a rule. You're saying don't substitute any x's beyond this limit. Okay? So let's see. Our original equation was 1, our original radicand was 1 minus x, correct? You guys see where I got that? Right here? This right here. Okay? I keep writing over it. So we're going to set that greater than or equal to 0. Because you can't have a negative value under there, under the radical. Now, remember this, you guys, when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the symbol. Okay, so this is our rule. We're saying for any x you're going to substitute, it has to be less than or equal to 1. If you think about that, if we come back over here and we sub a 1 for this x, how come it's not showing up? There we go. If we sub a 1 for that x, we're going to get, what are we going to get? Where's my pen? Square root of 1 minus 1, right? And that's square root of 0. So that's the lowest amount you can have in the radicand is 0. Okay, let's look at number 2. We've got the cube root of 5x plus 1. So the first thing we should do is raise our radical expression to the same power as the index, which is a 3, and then we do it on both sides of the equation. So on the left, we're going to get 5x plus 1. On the right, we'll get negative 64. Subtract 1 on both sides. Divide by 5. X is negative 13. That's our solution. Any questions there? Okay, so we check our answer. We'll take that negative 13, we'll sub it back in our original equation and look for a true statement. So let's do that here. Let's just draw a line. So we'll check here. So we'll go cube root 5 times negative 13 plus 1 equals negative 4. Simplify under the radical. 5 times negative 13, we just did that. It is negative 65 plus 1. And then we still have a negative 4 on the right. So we've got, let's see, it's negative 65 plus 1 is negative 64. Simplify the left side. The cube root of negative 64 is negative 4. So you end up with a true statement. So that solution checks. Okay, and then our last step, remember, we're going to restrict the domain. We take our radicand, this 5x plus 1 expression, and we set it equal, greater than or equal to 0. Whoops. This time we're dividing by a positive 5. Let's come over here. So we get x, it has to be greater than or equal to negative 1/5. What did I just do? Sorry. I wrote too close to the arrow. Hang on. X has to be greater than or equal to negative 1/5. This is restricting your domain here. Any questions? Okay, now in number 3, notice you've got a 1/4 multiplying up front right here, and you've got a 6 adding after that radical expression, so we have to undo 2 things before we can start. We'll subtract 6 from both sides. We get a 4 on the right. So to undo multiplying by a 4th, we're going to divide by a 4th, which means multiplying the reciprocal. So we'll multiply both sides by 4. Okay, so now we have the radical expression by itself. So to clear that, we're going to raise both sides to the same power as the index. So that cancels our radical. We'll get 2x equals, what is 16 to the 4th power? I think we need to calculate that. Did I do that right? No, I did not do that right. I made a mistake, didn't I? Look. I'm a goof. Let me back up. I was going to say, that's an awfully big number. Oh, no, wait, I did do that right, didn't I? We multiplied both sides by 4, which gave us 16. Yeah, I did do that right. Okay. What is it, Carlos? Well, I guess sometimes they give us big numbers. All right. Just making sure I did my work right. Sometimes I mess up, right? Okay, so we'll divide by 2. Want to calculate that too? Make sure we get it right. Let's see, what would it be? 3, 2, 7, 6, 8. Is that right? Oh, good, huh? All right, there's your answer. This is going to be fun to check. All right, I'm just going to go over number 5 here since we ran out of room. We'll come back and do 5. So let's see, 1/4 times the 4th root of 2 times 32,768 plus 6 equals 10. All right, so 2 times that 32,768, we just divided by 2, so we're back where we just were, 65,536. And then what is the 4th root of 65,536? Can we calculate that one? Okay, so we calculated the 4th root is 16. And then let's see. So a fourth of 16 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. So we get 10 equals 10, which is a true statement. Okay, so the last step is to restrict the domain. So we go back to our original equation, and the 2x here is our radicand. So we need to take that and we need to set it greater than or equal to 0. Divide both sides. That means any x we use needs to be greater than or equal to 0.